Hi everyone, it's Aaron here from Push Square. Excited to bring you our review of one of PlayStation's most intriguing games for the month of December. That's right, it's time to dive into the wonders of Solar Ash. This review was originally written for the Push Square website by the lovely Stephen Tailby, before being adapted into video by me. Anyway, that's just about enough scene setting, let's skate on in.
Come in, High Tree Command. I don't read you. This is Lyris with the Clock Tower Candleflies. Everything's in position.
When developer Heart Machine decided to venture into 3D for its follow-up to Hyper Light Drifter, it didn't just change the perspective. While the two titles share the same universe, Solar Ash is a very different game in many ways. Essentially, this is a fast-paced platformer that puts emphasis on movement rather than combat. The end result is a fresh, fluid experience, albeit one that can occasionally ring just a little bit hollow. You play as Ray, one of several Void Runners who dive into a black hole known as the Ultra Void in order to save their home planet from oblivion. With the population of an entire world hanging in the balance, it's your job to activate the Starseed, an enormous, powerful device that's capable of averting the disaster. Of course, it's not a straightforward task. You'll need to visit various districts and take down gigantic creatures called remnants. So what does all that really mean? Well, at its core, this is a 3D platformer that wants to keep you in a flow state. Ray is a swift and agile character who can glide across most surfaces, and there's an undeniable joy to be found in simply moving through each environment. Even just skating over the expanses of blue clouds is enjoyable. There's a wonderful balance between Ray's momentum and the amount of control you're afforded as a player. Getting around nimbly and quickly feels fantastic, especially when you nail a tricky platforming sequence without stopping. There are occasions where the camera can trip up. Changes in gravity especially can cause issues, but in general though, there's a great sense of fluidity to the gameplay. To get those remnants to come out and play, you'll first need to run, jump and grapple your way all across each level, finding and hitting specific spots. Found in piles of black ooze, you need to strike certain points in quick succession to partially awaken one of the massive monsters. As mentioned, getting around each level is fun thanks to the slick traversal, and these small time challenges test your ability to move precisely and efficiently. The trouble is that the game does very little to add variety to these challenges, which act as your primary objective. Awakening the final remnant is essentially the same as the first. The gameplay just doesn't really evolve, and it can feel a bit repetitive. Once one of the boss beasties is up and about though, engaging them is a highlight. Getting onto a creature and taking it down might sound familiar, but Shadow of the Colossus, this isn't. There's no puzzle to be solved, you simply grapple on at a designated point and must speed across the remnant's body, hitting certain points within a short time window before delivering a blow to its weak spot. Do this 3 times and the creature will fall. While you could argue that this routine is as repetitive as the process of summoning the beasts, the feeling of smoothly zipping across a remnant and striking each point in one unbroken maneuver is very satisfying. The scale of the bosses and the speed with which you deal with them also makes you feel suitably powerful. The bosses aren't the only enemies you'll face in your travels, however. Much smaller baddies populate certain areas, interrupting you while you explore each area. In keeping with the theme of flow, dispatching the various critters is quick and easy. Most will go down in just a couple of strikes as you zoom past. Combat is quite clearly not a core pillar of the experience, but it does feel almost pointless spending time killing these things. There's just no reward for doing so, and most of their attacks are easily avoided. You only need kill them when they're in your way. There's no incentive to go on the offense. Even the remnants themselves pose almost no meaningful threat. If you fail the time sequence, you're thrown off, and you almost won't notice their attempts to hit you on the ground.
You think this was a decision with your indomitable free will? Then enjoy your freedom.
Because enemies are a nuance rather than a true obstacle, it can make each level feel noticeably empty. Each environment is massive, and thanks to cohesive presentation, they're gorgeous too. The music and visual design conjure a real mood, asking that you occasionally slow down and soak in the liminal, otherworldly atmosphere. However, there are large expanses with almost nothing going on. The levels need to be big to accommodate the remnants, but there's a lot of unused space as a result. It's a shame, as there are rewards to be found for exploring each area fully. A few simple side stories give you some rare friendly faces to interact with. Audio logs from your fellow Void Runners tell you where they are and what happened to them, while also providing you with suit pieces. Find all the logs and you unlock new outfits, each benefiting you in one way or another. Collecting plasma, which is basically everywhere, is worth it for the occasions in which you need to repair a portion of your health meter. When everything is flowing as intended and you're chaining together boosts, jumps, grappling points and rail grinds like it's nothing, the game does a wonderful job. Breezing through a level and destroying a remnant in a flash is fun and empowering. Without spoiling anything, the ending delivers too, with a big revelation that explains much of the story's mystery. At around 7 to 10 hours, depending on your appetite for collectibles, it doesn't outstay its welcome either, despite the few ways that we feel it falls a little short. Solar Ash pushes for a sense of momentum and fluidity with its take on 3D platforming, and it does work very well indeed. Ray's controls and abilities give the game a sense of ease, making it very gratifying simply moving through the game's world. While the main quest doesn't really evolve the challenge, and the picturesque environments can feel somewhat empty, the traversal at the heart of everything does about enough to carry you through to a satisfying conclusion. It's an ambitious second effort from Heart Machine that mostly sticks the landing. So there you have it in terms of our thoughts on Solar Ash. Do you plan on picking this one up and checking it out for yourself? Be sure to let me know in the comment section below. Then, when you've done that, why not show some love by leaving a like on this video, and consider subscribing to the Push Square YouTube channel for everything else PlayStation related. Until next time, thank you as ever for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.